Okay, so I forgot to upload my watch list last night. I did get it recorded, but I don't know why. I just kind of forgot to upload it. But so I had 5 stocks on watch for this morning that I made last night, and the 4 out of 5 are positive PFE. I can't really explain that one. I don't know why it's negative today. There's no real news on it or anything. I'm guessing it's just because of the indecisive nature of the SP 500 right now. It's still consolidating very close to Doji right now, if I'm not mistaken. S&P SPX. So yeah, some serious consolidation right here. There's not much going on. Let me maximize this and give you all a chance to see. So BioC. This one I did predict to go back up in combination for this trend line, this trend reversal right here, and back down to another rejected resistance right there to a gap down. And it went up on news very, basically a lot. Usually when this happens, there is a heavy reversal until it finds some point of resistance, and I guesstimated in combination with the support and resistance line right here, plus the Fibonacci retracement of 23.6%. I figured the combination of the two would bring it back up, and it did this morning. It went up 10%, and which is good news. I like being right, but you know, I'm not always right, so I tend to not make purchases. So I've been doing a lot of paper trading just to do some self-assessment. You guys, this is purely on a technical standpoint. I hate following energy sectors because it can be so volatile right now, especially with the indecisive nature of OPEC and everything. But you know, we got a hotter winter right now, so because it's hotter, the gas and oil right now isn't really profitable because people don't need to be warm in their homes as much. But this one I did figure it would bounce just because of the nature of this candle. It seemed like it did accept a little bit this trend line that it's set right here. So you got 1, 2, 3, and I was hoping for 4, which it did. It did end up opening high. So we'll have to see if it does some retracement. And what was my other one? AVP, purely technical. Let me see if I can zoom in here. So purely technical, you've got movement within the channel, and I did a channel within a channel right here, so I was like, well, it's looking like it might be oversold in this region, if you're looking at the overall trend right here. So I was just like, well, maybe it'll do a reversal. Nothing too technical. There's just, some pretty even volume right here, so there's nothing that would indicate, massive downtrending, anything that would suggest that it would move down significantly, but more towards a retracement towards this support line right here on the overall trend for the past 2 to 3 months roughly. So if you did manage to buy in this morning, you would have been able to grab about 6% on a perfect trade, obviously. But since this is a positive candle on this larger negative candle, I would foresee this tomorrow, depending on how this develops. Depending on how this candle develops, I would say that tomorrow will continue to go down until it retraces to the support line. So we'll just have to see what it does. I haven't looked at these on the weekly candle and try and find a pipe bottom, but that could be pretty interesting to look at. PFE, we'll just humor this one for now. PFE, there's no real reason for it to be going down like this. I don't think there's any news on it, not that I've noticed. But from what I can tell, especially with the RSI and other factors, it does seem to be oversold right now. So we'll just have to wait and see what kind of candle develops over here. Maybe the bulls will take it over right here and make a little positive trending doji, especially with a combination of a positive candle tomorrow. That would be a pretty solid buy signal for most investors. So that'll bring it back up, especially in combination with the 200 EMA. That's a pretty solid buy signal. So if it can manage to stay above this line, we'll be pretty set for a longer term investment or a longer swing trade. And let's take a look at AMD just because AMD is one of those that I follow. So it's been, consolidating around the 50 EMA, which isn't a sign of positive or negative trend. It's just a sign of consolidation of, the indecisive nature of this market right now. I don't foresee it breaking above the 10-12 area for some time, especially with the earnings report coming up. Typically with an earnings report, there's a lot of sell volume. I think that's coming up either next week or the week after. I need to check on that, but that's coming up. But I'm just waiting on it to retrace to this trend line. This trend line has been pretty good. I mean, it retraces back till January roughly. If you look at the whole year, you can easily bring this. Oh god, this one, Jesus. You can bring this all the way back to here, and you can see that support turns to resistance and then turns to support. So I'm waiting for it to retrace over here because this one has been statistically significant, very statistically significant. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches. So the more time it touches, the more significant it becomes. So hopefully we'll get some good volume at this region that would indicate a pretty good buy signal. But I don't foresee it coming up for, about a week, depending on how the earnings report goes. I would think that the earnings would be fairly low given the amount of funding that they have been putting into the Ryzen architecture. But it would be competing very, very heavily with Intel, given their architecture has been clock for clock, very outperforming a $1,200 Intel CPU when they're talking about selling it for $350 with 8 true cores rather than the 4 cores with hyperthreading. So that's a very, very good market sector to be targeting. So yeah, that's about it for now. I'll be updating my watch list throughout the day, but we'll have to just monitor it.